can cut that out, right?
Yeah, I'll cut it out.
Okay, cool.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Welcome back to Heart and Soul. I am joined today by Melody. Once again, this is the first of the month. First of the month. First of the month.
Didn't know where that was going.
I thought you were going to harmonize with me.
Didn't know the lyrics to the song.
It's a new song.
I love it.
Okay, we just had technical issues because I don't know how to do YouTube, you guys.
We don't know, but we're trying.
We're really trying.
She's trying over here. She's doing the best she can.
But we're going to do a little quickie.
Yeah.
A little quickie recap
Yeah.
finale episode of The Bachelor. This season ended last week. So I realized we're a little late to the game, but we have a life. So
that's right.
Get over it.
And this is first of the month.
First of the month. First of the month. You did it.
He did it.
Look at this child. We're also watching my feral toddler on his baby monitor because he switched to a big boy bed because he found out how to crawl and jump out of his crib. So that's been fun. And I have like MacGyver. First of all, don't come at me in the comments.
Stop.
Moms, don't judge me.
It's pretty impressive.
I've MacGyvered like a little lock on the outside of his door with dumbbells and workout bands.
Yeah.
So he's stuck.
Tell me your
and
fitness
he's fine.
Coach
he's fine. We just got to get him used to sleeping in his big boy bed. Okay.
He's just hanging out by the door.
He's just
sleeping, taking a nap by the door.
Yeah, he is kind of sleeping on the floor. So whatever, as long as he's asleep.
As long as he rests.
Rest is key.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to talk. First of all, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Did you have a good Easter?
I did. It felt great.
It did feel good.
Fun. We went to service on Saturday.
Nice.
Instead of Sunday, which was kind of weird, but honestly kind of nice.
Yeah.
It's like I would love a Saturday service. But yeah, it was beautiful here. So we just
was
out
a
outside.
Beautiful weekend.
Yeah, all the way from Good Friday to Sunday. I mean, even to today. Like, it's just been beautiful for about a week. So
I know.
How was yours?
It was good. We did a Good Friday service at our church.
Yep.
And then we did an Easter egg hunt with a bunch of kiddos on Saturday.
Nice.
And then Sunday we did church.
So, like, what's in Easter eggs anymore? Like, what are people hiding in Easter
mostly
eggs?
Candy.
Oh, okay. That's good. It used to be like I'd find one in my grandma's like bush and it'd have like a quarter in it.
Money?
Yeah, money.
Grandma.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was very generous.
Maybe we'll start doing quarters next year. Start a savings account.
Yeah.
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 No, it was good. Then we went to church on Sunday and then we watched that basketball game.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, it was good.
It was awesome.
Yeah. I'm not even like a big college basketball.
Yeah, me neither.
But I like March Madness.
Same. I filled out a bracket.
Are you doing good?
No, I actually had started my bracket and it auto-filled at first. So it just picked random for me. And for the most part, it had 0 upsets. And I was like, okay, well, that's not gonna happen. Like, there's gonna be upsets. So I was like, I'm gonna maneuver this and I'm gonna make my own. And none of my top 4 made it. So, but all of my top 8 for the most part made it.
Okay.
Yeah, which was pretty good.
Baby steps. Next year is the year.
Exactly. So I think if I would have originally just let it do its thing, I don't know if it would have been better or worse, but it did have UConn winning. And
UConn's still in it,
it's
right?
still in it. Yeah. So who knows? Coulda.
Okay. Well,
coulda, shoulda, woulda. Yeah. Who knows? I don't know. Next year it won't be better next year. Let's just be honest. I'm not gonna watch. I'm gonna know nothing, and
I'm not doing any research.
No,
it is what it is.
It is. Yeah, this will forever just be how it is. So I have 0 hope.
Yeah, we watched the game, and that's what we did this weekend.
Nice.
Today, I took my gestational diabetes glucose test.
Wow.
Where you have to like drink a sugary drink, which like everyone hates on the drink, but like hot take, I kind of love it.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never tried the drink.
It's like Gatorade on crack. Like and I love
it's like
sugar.
a Pedialyte.
Kinda.
Oh, I like
and you have like 5 minutes to drink it. So it's like you just chug it.
Oh my gosh. I could not do that.
I chugged it.
No, I can't chug things.
Oh, really? I can't chug beer.
I can't chug anything. I can't chug water. I'll literally look at Mikey and be like, "All right, I'm gonna drink so much water right now. You are not even gonna believe it." And I will sit there with a straw, drinking and drinking and drinking, and I will have felt like I've taken 500 gulps. And I'll look at it, and it is maybe a quarter of the way down.
I bet that's kind of nice with a cocktail, though. 'cause
No,
you can, like,
for some reason those go down fast.
because you could like milk it, you
No,
know,
you're right. I do, and
or like a glass of wine.
I'll always order a small pour of a beer anyway because I drink it so slow.
Yeah, I drink beer
It's
really
gonna
slow.
get warm. By the time I'm down to the end of it, the bottom half, I'm like, it's warm. It's lukewarm. So I just got a small one now.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, that is true. I do kind of drink everything slow.
yeah. I chugged it
Well,
and
that
passed,
sounds
y'all.
delicious.
No
Woohoo!
gestational diabetes.
Love that, guys.
Just do my happy dance on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about. Should we talk about Beyonce's album or the Bachelor finale first?
Mm.
Maybe Beyonce's album.
Yeah, let's do it.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it.
Like, love it.
Yeah,
I would say it's her best album since Lemonade.
I agree. I've been waiting for.
I kind of have
I don't know.
too.
I'm just like, for some reason, I always want to just love the album itself, or just like any album she puts out. I want to love it, but I don't know. It just never like slaps
As
for
a
me.
whole, it
Yeah,
never slaps. Like,
but
there's
this
songs.
as a whole,
Yeah.
slaps.
There's like songs on each album that I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's a bop. Like,
Yeah.
that's good. But like, yeah, you're right. Like,
Yeah.
this whole entire album just like is so good. I
I
mean, it
think
took me
so,
like
too.
3 days to listen to it because it's like 26 tracks.
27 songs,
27.
but it's only an hour and 18 minutes
Because
so.
there's a lot of those little
Yep.
baby interludes.
Mhm. Which I really love. I love she has like Willie Nelson on there and Dolly just like chit-chatting away,
Mhm.
saying little things. I thought that was pretty cool.
Do you have any favorites that stood out to you?
Yeah. I really like Projector
Protector?
or Project. Yeah, well, she says
She says
Projector
Projector.
a lot.
I love
but
that
I
song.
love that song.
That's one of my top
It's really
3.
sweet. I figured you would love that song
Because it's about parenthood.
Mhm. It is. And I love Bodyguard.
Oh, I like Bodyguard too.
Mhm.
Did you hear all the theories that people thought Taylor Swift was doing the background vocals?
Oh yeah, no, I haven't even listened to it again for that reason.
Me
Like,
neither.
I haven't listened back to see if it
Apparently-
sounds like her.
Apparently it's not true.
Surely it's not true.
Yeah.
Like, but also if it is, and they're not saying anything about it, love that.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a power move.
It is.
Because I agree. Like, someone, maybe it was the Toast, they said like if it said featuring Taylor Swift on a
Mhm.
song, just because she's kind of like the moment right now,
Yeah,
it would like
just kind of pull away from.
it would pull away from
Beyonce's
the
moment.
fact that this is one of
Yeah.
Beyonce's best albums of all time.
Yeah, agreed.
And like this needs to be about Beyonce.
I love the first song.
Yo, American Requiem.
Yes,
It starts off so strong.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I love that song.
I love the Miley song.
I really like the Miley song. I've only listened to it a couple times, so maybe it'll sink in more. But
the vocals are
Mhm.
so good. I mean, you have Beyonce, who has arguably one of the greatest
know.
voices of all time.
Okay, there was another song. I think it's Daughter. She straight up is like opera singing at the end.
Yeah, I know.
It's incredible.
She does that opera song. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's
Yeah,
Italian,
and she
right?
sounds freaking professional.
Like unreal.
That's the thing. I will admit it. I'm not like a Beehive girl. I
Mhm.
think Beyonce though is one of the most talented people of our generation. Like
Mhm.
hands down.
For sure.
And like if she puts out good music, I'm in it. But
Yeah.
I'm not like one of those who like goes to every single show or like
Right.
fangirls. I will say like vocally though, she's just
She's
10 out of
so
10.
strong.
So strong. She can go low, she can
Yeah.
go high. I don't know all the technical terms.
That's all right.
She's harmonizing queen.
Yeah.
She can rap, she can opera
She
sing, like
does
she
it
can do
all.
it all.
She does it all. And she truly like her voice is just exudes strength.
Yeah,
Truly.
strong. It's a strong voice.
Like there's like Adele where there's strength behind it, but there's a lot of control behind it. Whereas I feel like Beyonce kind of like lets it
She's,
loose
like, free.
sometimes. Yeah, she just like will let it rip, and it's just pure strength. And there's obviously control behind it, but it's like just powerhouse.
Yeah.
I love Levi's jeans.
Me too.
With Posty. Love.
I think I'm becoming a Post Malone fan.
Were you not?
I mean, it's not that I wasn't, but like
he
now
is so talented.
He is so talented. He's from like basically just north of where I'm from.
Really?
And so, and he's close. He's from close to really where Michael's family lives. And so we were in downtown McKinney like 3 weeks ago when we were visiting, and like there's this bar there that has like Post Malone posters all over it because he's like a local celebrity, like
that.
Came from the town.
That's cool.
I know. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have the funniest story about
what?
Post Malone.
Oh my gosh, tell me.
Sorry, I almost pressed play.
So
my brother-in-law, Patrick, he's been on the podcast and
love him.
He's just a hoot. And he's like this like skinny, just like white guy. Like
exactly.
He's handsome.
Yeah.
But he doesn't look anything like Post Malone, who has face tattoos.
Truly.
Okay.
Yeah.
He gets stopped. This is probably like 4 or 5 years ago at this point. He gets stopped at a Target. I think at a Target. I might be getting that part wrong. But he gets stopped in public. And someone's like, are you Post Malone? What? Like so serious. And he's like, no. Like I don't have any tattoos, first of all. I don't have a face tattoo. And so this person was like, dead serious, man, I thought you were him.
Sure. What?
Yeah.
They're like, do you know who Post Malone is?
And Patrick looks more like Zac Efron. Like,
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like pre
Zac Efron had a beard. Yeah. Or not a mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Post Malone was so funny. I still like anytime I hear Post Malone on a song, I just think of that story and I'm like,
you're like, Patrick looks just like
but
him.
He's going country apparently. He's about to release a country album. So I'm really excited for that because his vocals are so good. And they did like what I love about this Beyonce album when it comes to duets, and this is something that I have historically hated on Taylor Swift for, and I will say this out loud because I am a Swiftie. Like when she includes a duet with Post or with Miley, for instance, she gives them verses. Yes. Like she gives them chunks of the song instead of just like background vocals or like a chorus. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I know exactly what
you
mean.
You're actually highlighting this artist. And I think that's what a duet should be. Agreed. Like a duet, not just like Lana Del Rey singing Snow on the Beach in the background. Like we don't need that.
No.
We want
you want to know verse. What made me so mad is when John Mayer came out with a song and it said featuring Maren Morris, who is one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
And then literally it is, I'm like, I'm waiting for her to come on in. And then it is the last 30 seconds and she's just riffing in the background doing some harmonies. And I'm like,
and Taylor did that with the re-record of Fearless. She had Maren Morris on a song. And I was
waiting for that too.
And I was so excited. And it's literally just like barely some harmonies.
I'm like, what is happening?
And that to me is like,
that is such a slap in the face.
I hate that.
Don't put my name on that.
Don't put my name on it. Seriously. So I love that Beyonce was like, no, Post is in it and he's half the song. Miley's in it and she's half the song.
Agreed. I do. Yeah. I do like Miley's song. I just need to listen to it a little bit more.
I really like it, but I'm becoming like, my fandom for Miley rises the more she becomes like rock.
Me too.
So I'm becoming more and more of like a Miley fan.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think she was a pop singer.
No.
In my opinion. But
I mean her voice
is rock.
Yeah. Roll.
Yeah.
100%.
And it's so different. It needs to be.
It is. I will say also when Blackbird started after the first song, because I loved the first song so much. And I was like, oh my gosh, how is it gonna get any better than this?
And then it goes to a cover.
And then I was like, oh, this is weird. And then like even just her singing on her own, I was like, okay, like got it, like Blackbird. And then all of these women come in.
Yeah.
And the harmonies in the song, I was just like melting.
Yeah, you gotta wait for it.
It was incredible.
And
I was not a fan at first. But
I was the same way. I was like, okay, we're just going straight into a cover. Yeah. Like we just finished American Requiem.
Right. And I knew that there were other covers because there was Jolene on it too. But I was like.
But Jolene slaps too because she changed all the lyrics.
Which I do love.
I love that.
Love.
It's so Beyonce. It's not like Dolly's song.
Well, and that's the other thing too with, I don't think I fully understand like what this affair was. But if it was multiple times or if it was one time, what happened with Jay-Z? But even Daughter, it talks about her literally having like like these fantasies of literally beating the crap out of
Yeah.
this woman.
Don't mess with Beyonce.
Don't mess with me.
She's made that very clear.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, the whole Lemonade
and
album.
she's like, I'm not insecure.
No.
I am not desperate.
And in Jolene, when she's like,
Yeah.
I've been with this man for 20 years. I know him better than he knows himself. Like,
yeah.
don't come at this family.
Yeah.
I was like,
boom. I mean,
Becky with the good hair. That's about all you got.
Say more?
Need she say more?
Absolutely not. Do you know what happened with all that?
No, they didn't. That's the thing about
I know.
Jay-Z and Beyonce is they're very private. So like they kind of just let the people come to theories and guess.
But what's wild is the fact that she has written multiple songs now about this woman years and years down the road now. Like these songs coming out. Is this woman still trying to comfort Jay-Z? That's where I'm like,
or
why don't you let it go?
Longer affair?
Right. That's what I mean.
Was it not just like
longer?
A one-time thing?
Right.
And she just has bitterness. I mean, who knows what their marriage is actually like behind the scenes?
True.
It could be
This
bad.
is true. You're right.
And they have.
That's why I'm like, why give her even the benefit, or like, why even give her this spotlight of even having songs written about her?
Yeah.
But I get it. Like, because you want to prove this is your man. And like, it was a time in your life and write these songs. I get it. But I'm just like, is she still trying to come for him?
I doubt it.
Surely not.
Yeah,
right?
No. I think Beyonce is bitter.
She's,
and I would probably be too.
Yeah.
If
truly
my husband cheated on me.
Agreed.
And we had children.
Yeah.
And I'm Beyonce. Like I'm Beyonce.
Beyonce.
You don't get better than Beyonce.
No, you don't. Do you have any other thoughts?
My top 3 favorite songs were, and this is like so basic of me, but Protector, Miley, The Most Wanted, and the Levi's Jeans.
Yeah.
And then, which is like funny because it's like the ones with features.
I know, yeah.
But I also loved American Requiem, and I ran the other day to Ya Ya.
Yo,
and that was a beat.
Ya Ya's fun.
That was a fun beat to run to. And then I love the Jolene cover, but how she rewrote it.
Yeah,
like I love that. And there's really not a song on there where I'm like, I think I really like the song just for fun too.
Me too.
Yeah,
I
like
gonna
that.
Say that it's really good.
Yeah,
it's like it's moodier.
Yeah,
right?
you think it's gonna be like you see the title and you think it's gonna be like
upbeat
but it's not. It's very moody.
Yeah,
I like it a lot.
Same. She talks about how she prays too much.
Yeah, I really do think this might be. I don't know. Lemonade is like such a good album.
I know. But this is such
they're like
album.
tied for me at like best albums. And she even kind of said that herself. She was like, I've been working on this for 5 years. This is incredible. She came all the way, like she did it big. She's gonna go country, she's gonna go big. And it's her version of country, which I love too. It's like still has R&B, hip hop, like still has all of that soul gospel style. But I love the album cover. She's like holding an American flag, sitting on a horse. Like it's so incredible. America. I know. Like I'm country, come at
me. I know. I'm really curious to see what country music awards will do.
I think they got to do something. At least for Texas Hold'em. I would say that's probably the most country song
I think
still
so
on the album.
It's so good.
I love Texas Hold'em.
It's so good.
And I love 16 Carriages. I think we sleep on them now because we've had them for a while, but those are still 2 of the best songs on the album.
I don't know why I can't get down 16 Carriages.
It took me 3 listens.
Okay.
It's the vocals that I love.
Okay.
Okay, is the kid asleep?
Nope. Standing out the door. He's like, when am I joining the podcast?
He's like, how do I get this thing open? Okay, Bachelor.
Okay, before we go into Bachelor, just to keep it on like music real quick, I finally, not in person, saw the Eras tour.
Okay. Y'all, I'm so pregnant. I can't even like lean back. But Melody texted me. I was already asleep, which is sad, on Saturday night at like 10 p.m.
It's like 9:45. It
wasn't even late. I was already asleep. But she was like, Mikey poured us a glass of bourbon and said he's ready to watch the Eras tour. And I showed it to Michael in the morning and he was dying. He was like,
yeah.
He's folded.
He's folded.
He's folded.
Like, all right, let me see what this is all about.
It was the first time you watched it?
Yeah.
Did you love it?
Loved it. We had to break it up into 2 nights.
Yeah, it's long.
Because we started it way too late.
It's like 3.5
3.5 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming y'all were probably there longer
Mhm.
because the transitions that they did on Disney Plus, there was like an animated
Yeah.
thing that said like what era you're going into next, which I'm sure they had like on the screens, but then immediately you jumped into that era,
Yeah.
which I'm sure it took her at least 4 to 5 minutes to get changed.
The thing is, it didn't.
Are you kidding me?
It was insane, the outfit changes between eras and even the set changes. And the set was actually very minimal
Yeah,
because it was a lot of like
just slide it out.
slide it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a little bit longer than the film, but it was miraculous how quickly she
Dang.
would get back on stage. It would just go into another era. Most of them she wouldn't even like announce like we're in the folklore era.
Right, exactly.
She would just start singing, dive in, and you knew by the outfit change and by the scenery on stage that it was folklore or evermore or whatnot.
Right.
So yeah, it really was like insane.
Dang.
Her like endurance during this tour is the most insane part.
It's impressive. And that's what stood out to me is like what she does. Can you imagine how much work it takes for her backup dancers?
Yeah.
Because they're going double as hard.
Yeah.
Because they're like fully dancing and going around and doing all this stuff to make it more theatrical. Yeah. And I love like I've never gone to a Taylor Swift concert.
Okay.
Like again, y'all know.
Just kidding.
Y'all know I'm not like a Swiftie, but I'm Swiftish. And so I'm like, I've never watched her live. I've never seen her interact with a crowd. I've never really watched that. I've never watched any of her live stuff. And I don't even know if she does interviews, but I love how like she is way more theatrical. Mm-hmm. It's more of like
a Broadway show.
Yeah, it's like a Broadway show more so than just her going up there and jumping around. And yeah, at some point you're just running up and down and jumping and like having a good time, but like everything is on point. Like she is on point with her
facial expressions, her like she goes,
everything. She acts.
Yeah.
Exactly. She's putting on a proper
and
show.
That's why a lot of people will call her like cheesy or like
1000%.
It is cheesy.
It's cheesy,
and that's the point.
But that is it. Yeah, and like you go to a theater show, like there are things that are theatrical that seem cheesy at first, but you're like, then you're in it, and you're like, oh yes, you're trying to paint a story.
Yeah,
like you're trying to do this, and so I fully understand it now. And I'm really impressed. Like, obviously, there's backing vocals, which her backup vocalists are
so good. And you know, she's had her backup singers and her band since her very first tour.
Really?
Yeah.
They're
maybe not the singers, but definitely since Speak Now at least. But that guitarist, that older guitar guy, he has been with her since Fearless, maybe even debut.
That's cool.
She has most of her original band
That's
members.
Really cool.
Yeah.
I know that there's like backing tracks and everything. Like obviously she's singing to her own track that has her vocal in it. But for the most part, like she's singing.
Yeah.
And
she's
granted,
singing.
like there's, you know, any type of like little auto tune of some sort. Like there are those things on there. Like it just is what it is. And I don't know what she sounded like actually live in person. I don't know if they overdubbed.
Amazing.
I don't know if they overdubbed a little bit more on like Disney Plus or something, but like she was singing. I was really impressed.
Yeah. Yeah. She sings the whole time, and that's something to respect, even if you miss a note. I mean, 3.5 hours of singing and dancing is insane. And that's how she trained for the show. Apparently she would like sing her songs while on a treadmill going to the beat of that song, either running if it was like a fast song, or like jogging.
You have to.
Yeah.
You know who started that first?
Who?
Beyonce.
Oh, the queen.
Mm-hmm. The queen. I remember them talking about that with Destiny's Child. I think it was her mother that would have them just like run and do on the treadmill and sing, like either walk or run in heels on the treadmill. Yeah. It's like,
because you're going to be
that's what you're going to be wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But crazy, and felt mad respect. And my two favorites. I mean, how do you pick a favorite?
Yeah, what were your favorite eras that she performed?
I think my favorite was, it's funny because I have a favorite like album.
Yeah.
And then, but when it came to the tour, I think one of my favorites was Reputation.
Yeah. Reputation's so good. Like live.
So
Because it's such a live
unreal.
album to me.
Yeah.
It's a performance album.
Mm-hmm.
And that tour still to me was her best tour.
Yeah.
I mean, Eras tour obviously was
Yeah.
phenomenal and iconic, but that was the most fun.
Yeah.
Was Reputation.
I'm trying to think of what other I don't know how to like call any other one my favorite because I really did enjoy them all.
They were also different too.
They're all so different.
Mhm.
I think that Folklore was really cool.
I loved Folklore.
I think that was really, really cool. That was her sitting on the moss tree, right?
Yeah.
Or house,
Yeah.
right?
She started there with
She
Betty.
started there. Yeah.
And then she ended with August, like
Yes.
running on stage barefoot.
I think that was also one
and
of my
Illicit
favorites.
Affairs.
Yes.
When she goes into
Oh
that.
my gosh.
When she goes from one song into just the bridge of
Mhm.
Illicit Affairs, and you're like, don't call me kid.
Yes, that was unreal. And she's just on her knees.
On her knees, yeah.
Oh yeah, that was unreal.
I think Folklore and Reputation were probably my favorites
Yeah.
too.
Those were my two favorites.
Obviously Midnight's is like, is he out of the room?
No, I think that's outside. I think someone's shut up. There's no way. The door's shut. No, he's on the I think he's probably hitting the door with something. He's right there.
That's
He's in the room.
That's his polar bear.
No, he's in the room.
He's in the room.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is out there then. Maybe it's bear. I'm like on edge.
Yeah.
I'm like, is
She is over
my
here.
toddler out of his cage? It's my pet.
Okay, we can move on from this because I know like
Bachelor.
you could probably talk about it forever, but I'm glad I wanted to know what your favorites were too. So
Yeah.
I'm glad to know that I'm kind of in line with that.
Yeah.
I mean, surely I bet it was an epic moment with Red.
Yeah.
All that.
All too well.
Yeah.
The 10-minute.
That was unreal. Mikey goes, because she's like, if you have 10 minutes to spare, and he's like, huh?
He didn't get the joke.
I'm like, yeah, she
was a 10-minute song.
This is a 10-minute song. And he was like, what? That's so many words. I was like, you have no idea.
Yeah.
It's so many words.
It's so many
so
words.
Just
it's so iconic. And then
I don't even want to tell you what happened.
What?
Because I told him, I was like, don't ever tell a Swiftie this.
He said it's not that good.
No, he literally got up to like refill his water. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's a 10-minute song. And it's probably
her most popular
number
song.
one Taylor Swift song in all of Taylor Swift. And he, it starts and he's filling up his water and he was like, all right, well, I don't really care about this. So I'm going to go take a shower real quick. I'll be back.
You're dead to me, Mikey. You're dead to me.
I was like, wow. Okay.
He needs to have some respect.
I know.
Respect.
I'll make him watch it.
Mikey.
Eventually, I'll make him watch it.
You just put it in front of his face, like in bed. Be like, you have to watch this 10 minutes. Oh my God.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
Bachelor finale. Arguably one of the best Bachelor seasons of all time. In my opinion.
My favorite.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Loved it so much.
Loved all the girls. That's what's so crazy to me is like every single one of them, other than like maybe one or two, I was just obsessed with.
Yeah.
I love them all. They were so beautiful and they were like such characters of them of their own.
I think the thing is like obviously Joey was like flawless in the fact that and this is one, I think this is a flaw for The Bachelor is like they try to make their leads just like, especially guys, just very straight laced, like don't give them personality.
Exactly.
Do everything right. And then obviously we have the Claytons and the Zachs of the season who call it sex week or tell every woman they do it with them and they screw it up for themselves. Where Joey, I feel like was actually flawless in his execution of how he spoke to the women, how he responded to the women, words he chose, everything, even how in this last episode, and we'll get to this, how he did hint, I think on purpose to Daisy, like, it's not you, because he wanted her to know. He wanted her to know.
Yeah.
Without telling her.
Exactly.
Without breaking the rules.
Yeah.
So yes, Joey was obviously flawless, but I do think he had the perfect cast.
I think he did too. He really
lucked out. Such incredible women. Like they're all, especially once we got to the end, like the final even six. Were just
who were the
like
top
there was
six?
Not really, you couldn't go wrong. It was Maria, Rachel, Daisy, Kelsey, Jen, and
I don't know who the sixth one was.
this is gonna kill me.
It's not
It was
Leia,
the
right?
lumberjack date, wasn't it? Wasn't that top 6?
Yeah, I think so. But it wasn't Leia.
No,
It was
Leia.
oh
Ugh,
gosh, yeah. That was one I was like, man, what a fall from grace.
she was a miss.
yeah.
Leia was a miss.
I know.
And I think it was a fall from grace. I think she got too big in her britches because
so
she got
too.
to do that 1st thing and got the card.
Yep.
And I think she just
And I
thought
think a little
I'm
bit
the
of
star.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
And
the
she
star.
leaned
And
too
so
far into
everybody
that.
is going to be on my side. So then I'm going to try to pull some other crap over here. I
Yeah.
don't know. That was so
She
bizarre.
was slimy. And then even during after the final rose, when they would pan to
She
her in the
knew.
audience, when they'd pan to her in the audience, like she was making
Oh.
mean faces. Like she was
the
not
final
classy
rose,
to
yeah.
me.
Because the women tell all, it was bizarre. Dude, when Maria came out and everyone was Team Maria.
Yeah.
I mean, I was Team Maria the whole time too. I'm like, these women are delusional.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure at some point during the show they realized how catty they looked or
while
how catty
watching
they
it.
were or just like what they were doing. Like Sydney said, she's like, I didn't even get to know you.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's
Sydney
their
did a
own
great job at
Sydney did a really good
Women Tell
job.
All.
Yeah. Leia kind of like doubled down at one point, but then then she was crying and then she came back and was like, I'm sorry. So
And then
it was
Maria felt
weird.
bad.
Yeah.
I think Maria really saved Leia
Oh, 1000%.
by saying like,
you could tell how kind Maria is when she's like, this is not like, I'm not trying to breed a community of sides.
yeah,
That's not what this is.
and she
Like,
gave
we're
her a
not going to
hug and she
gang
was like,
up
"We're
on
done."
you. This just needs to be like water under the bridge.
Yeah.
And we're moving on. And guess what, world? You should move on too.
Yeah. Get over
Which
it.
is so good. Yeah.
She was
flawless.
her performance on Women Tell All was flawless.
So good. So why? Okay. Well, no.
We'll get to the Bachelorette. We're going to get to that.
So
what parts of the episode stuck out to you most? I think we can all agree on like specific parts, but let's start with like Daisy.
I thought it was so odd when Daisy asked Kelsey to share with her information about their date. At first, I thought it was so weird, but remembering back, I'm like, they were so close.
Yeah, they're like,
so
they're really good friends.
Yeah, and it was probably not weird for her to share that information with her.
And I think for her, she already knew.
Mm-hmm.
She already knew the answer to the question. She just needed that double affirmation before she let Kelsey know, hey, it's you.
Yeah.
Like,
because
and I'm gonna like, I want to let you have your moment. I'm gonna like end it. And I thought at first I thought the same thing. Like, why is she going to Kelsey's room? Like, just, but I do think it was the right move.
I think so too.
And I think the way she handled it, and this is what I love, like Daisy's so mature. They're all so mature.
Yeah.
The way she handled it by saying like, do you mind if I ask you how your part went? And with Kelsey being immediately saying, it was great.
Yeah.
I felt validated. It was great. Like no hesitation.
No hesitation at all.
And she was like, okay, that's all I needed.
Yeah.
Like, it's not me.
Well, and I heard today that the note that was there that she moved was a note that was actually written by Joey.
Yeah.
I thought that it was a note that she was writing. Like, they'll write a little note beforehand or whatever. It's like their one last hurrah to sway them. Like, let me write this note to Joey. No, it was a note that he wrote to her.
Affirming her.
Basically affirming her, which I can appreciate as well, because my thing is when people are saying, that sucks that Daisy took that moment away from her to like be in her.
I kind of disagree.
I disagree with that. I think that it like, even with Joey trying to affirm her of like, get out of your head. Like, and that's the thing is like, she got to be totally out of her head and know like, I'm
getting
the
engaged.
one. I'm the one. And guess what? I'm going to soak up this moment with zero doubt. And I get to be present in this moment and know that he's going to say yes and not be like shaking in my boots. And then once he finally says, you're the one, I can breathe. Yeah. And then it's like everything flashes before your eyes and you don't even remember what was said prior to, because you were too caught up in worrying about, am I the one? Am I not? What's going to happen? What's next? Instead of just being present and remembering what he said and all this stuff. So
I
think
agree.
I think it was great.
I
and
do too.
How
and
cool.
How iconic of a moment. it really was such a beautiful like women empowerment moment for the two of them to show up together. I think them kind of teasing like this has never happened before was trying to make us believe that like he ends up with no one.
Yeah.
And I think we all knew that was false because we saw the deep connection he had with both of them. I'm
Yeah.
like, there's no way he's not going to end up. And he was perfect.
No.
Like Michael even said, who would say no to Joey?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Who
he's
would
like,
say
he's
no
not
to
going to
Joey?
end up with no one.
There's no way. But I don't get how like they he was in a car crying.
Oh, really? Maybe that was
was a preview of him crying in a car. So I was really confused if they at one point took him, like if he left that moment or something. I don't know. It was
they might
weird.
have had footage from like,
because like if he was driving away crying, I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure he was in a suit and everything. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird. I don't know. But I do remember them having that footage and I was like, so when does that happen? Because he's driving away alone. But
he might have just gotten in the car to have a moment and get some AC.
Yeah, maybe.
And they just had the cameras in there.
I know. Well, and so when Daisy said that, when she said no, and then she goes, he's like, can I walk you out? And she was like, think I should do this myself. I don't even know if it was necessarily like an empowering move, more so of like, well, I don't want you to see that Kelsey's already here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
protecting Kelsey.
Protecting that moment of like, no, it's okay. I'll leave so that you don't know that I came here with Kelsey actually, and she knows. Like he still got to have his moment of wondering, like her not knowing if she's it or not.
I agree. I want to talk about Daisy's speech to him. Because I thought it was flawless.
Yeah.
I really did.
Yeah, it was perfect.
It was perfect. I think that he didn't say anything at first. Like even, I'm so glad you're here. I'm going to tell you my love speech and then you go and then I propose kind of thing. He didn't even say anything. So she already knew, but then it's like double affirmation. So she starts speaking. You could tell she practiced as I would too. And she was like,
it's going to be televised for millions of people to see.
And she was like, you're not going to choose me.
Right.
And I think obviously we saw emotionally on his face, he was sad.
Yeah.
But I think he felt relief.
Serious.
I don't have to do the speech.
Oh my gosh.
She's going to do it for me. And I think she really did him a favor in a very mature way by doing that. You're not going to choose me. You're like, you're not my person. I'm not your person. It's really hard for me to say, but like, that is what it is. And I'm so happy for you. Like no malice.
I'm rooting for you.
I love Kelsey, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
I don't remember all the details, but I do actually like at the end that she said, I think this is something I should do by myself, because the way that she said that was not malicious either. It wasn't like bitter, like, no, I don't want you to hold my hand.
No,
you don't get more. It was more just like, hey, I respect you. You need to have your moment. I need to have my moment.
I'm just going to step out. I'm going to step out graciously.
I'm gone.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make this easier for you.
Worry.
You don't need to walk me to the car and do the whole, like, I'm going to miss you kiss. Like, all of that. I'm taking that away. They were both so mature in that moment. And you can tell the genuine respect that they had for each other from how she delivered that speech. And then from how he even sobbed.
Responded, yeah.
Because his sobbing to me showed not just that he was like embarrassed or upset or whatever. It showed this is an amazing person.
Yeah.
And I really respect her. I just couldn't get there.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
I loved that whole moment. I thought it was so iconic. And then her going back and speaking to Kelsey, like making a point to say, your mom would be so happy she's watching this. She'd be so proud of you.
Yeah.
I mean, drop the mic, Daisy.
Yeah,
you've thought of it all. Because that was so sweet to recognize, to still be happy for Kelsey in that moment. Yeah. She could have been like, all right, bye. Yeah. Like, I don't know. She could have made it weird. And she was like, I'm not going to make this weird. I'm celebrating this.
You know what's so nice too? What a sigh of relief for Kelsey to feel like she wasn't so convinced that it was her.
Yeah.
Like he didn't affirm her of all these things and say all this
stuff.
He didn't argue it. No. And it's like Kelsey could feel like confident of like, oh wow, like he really truly affirmed me and didn't affirm other people. Like it was me.
I'm
Like,
the
and it
one.
always was me.
It was always me.
And I think that's really cool for her to kind of have that affirmation too.
And that's why I think Joey did it flawlessly. Like everyone's saying, like, oh my gosh, she was so obvious on that date with Daisy. Well, I think he did that on purpose.
On purpose. He's like, I can't break the rules here and say it's not you, but I just hope that you'll be happy with whatever occurs.
And it ain't with me. But I think he also did that out of respect for Kelsey, knowing she's gonna watch this.
Exactly.
And if he's doing if she's watching this someday and seeing him be like so torn, so like, I love you, Daisy, saying those words, then it really does taint the whole engagement, in my opinion.
He even has a scapegoat of when that top 3, they went on the date and she talked to not Susan.
Daisy talked to Sandra.
And Sandra was like, turn up the heat, get sexual. And
that's
then
why she did.
And then that date was like them just making out in the shower and all this stuff the whole time. It's like, well, yeah, Daisy was like really putting on the charm then. Like,
you can't resist.
He's like,
that.
Listen, yeah, exactly.
Sandra told her, it wasn't me.
Sandra told, yeah,
she initiated. I really do think like, and I think because of all of that, one, I think him and Kelsey just have a great chemistry.
And that's where it's funny because Joey has zero poker face, and I've always said it. He has zero poker face.
You can read him like a book.
Exactly, to the point where literally his mouth was like agape. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And
you just put your lip like this.
I just like put my lip down. I like his mouth was wide open, and his eyes were like seeing stuff. They were like half open, seeing like hard eyes. And the moment that she walked in,
he
lit up.
Yeah.
And who wouldn't? She's adorable.
And that's what
she's
you
so
want
sweet
for your proposal.
And how cool that, like, even if, I don't know if she'll watch it back or whatever, but going to watch it back,
you can see that.
You can see it from the very beginning, from the jump. That it was her.
Yeah.
100%. It's just so funny to me. I'm like, yeah, zero poker
And there's
face.
a lot of memes out there now of like him responding to women in different ways and like how he responds and then how he responded to Kelsey. And it's like so obvious. Like,
really?
It was her the whole time. So yeah, I think they're adorable together, but I think because of how he handled it and how Daisy handled it, they will get married.
I think they will too.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like
they said they want to do a 3-year engagement.
I heard that,
which is long, but pop off. Honestly, they got engaged in November and it's April now. And now they're going to be doing all of this press tour. So there's 1 year of your freaking engagement gone anyway. And I think 2-year engagement is fun.
Yeah.
I think that would be so fun. So soak it up. Don't rush into anything. It's all fast paced happening around you.
If you think about it,
never know.
They've had 3 dates by the time they get engaged.
Exactly.
3 dates.
And they haven't been able to really hang out with each other. They're FaceTiming a bunch. They're like randomly sneaking around to see each other. But like, you couldn't go out and have normal life until right now.
I actually think they're being very like mature and like real about it. And I do think they'll last because of it. Like, I
hope they do. I really hope they do. I think they're really cute.
Me too. I think Nick has touched on this on his podcast, Nick Vile, but like, those relationships are kind of doomed from the start because of how much you see of them with other relationships. And so once it's aired, even though you're already engaged,
about it.
People get insecure. And that's when like the fighting starts and you realize like maybe we're not compatible.
Right.
Like you lose that, like, I guess, fairy tale spark you had. And I think because he handled it that way with such maturity and being very obvious. And I think because Daisy handled it that way, that insecurity won't be there.
I agree.
So they're starting on a way firmer foundation than most couples.
A really good foot
from that show.
I really liked them. Okay. Bachelorette.
Bachelorette.
Unless you had anything else to say. Sorry.
No, I think that's
just taking over.
I think that's it. Great finale. Loved it.
It was so good.
And then here's where it got different.
Weird.
It got weird.
It got so
They
different.
made it weird.
Well, and I even thought from the beginning, or not from the beginning, I thought when, we're in top 3 at this point, I'm like, oh, it's got to be Maria. Like everyone loves Maria.
Yeah.
And then they have Women Tell All. And it's, oh my gosh, it is Maria. And then the finale happens.
like, it's
and I'm like,
Daisy.
it's Daisy.
Yeah.
I'm like, how can they not make this woman the top?
Right.
The Bachelorette. And then it's Jen.
Okay, but this is the weird part is how they do it. They say, could it be Daisy?
I know.
And then Daisy walks out
How
and she's
weird.
like, and I like that she got the chance to be like, no, I don't want it.
I'm not ready.
Like, I'm good. And I think that was a smart
I think
move
it was too.
because she's got a platform already.
Whether she was even offered it or not.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm not ready.
She's like, I'm good too. Like I have 800,000
good.
followers.
Yeah.
I'm starting this foundation for children. I don't need to
Yeah.
be making out with 35 men on TV right now.
Yeah, truly.
Like she's like, I'm actually coming
That's
out
actually
on
a
top.
really good point.
I'm coming out on top. And then I think Maria turned it down.
Yeah, but why?
I think her dad was like,
Okay.
no.
So we hear the rumor, you know, there's always things like you want to get paid more or whatever it is, but don't you think the exposure will outweigh the price tag? And then you hear she wanted her phone the whole time. Okay.
I didn't hear that.
I don't know where I heard that. But she apparently, you know, one of the stipulations might have been that she wanted to have her phone the whole time. And I just don't think ABC is going to do that. I don't think they're going to allow that.
I think as entertaining as she is and as great of a bachelorette as she would have been, I think there would have been too much tension between her and producers.
I wonder if she had weird
she's not a rule follower.
Suggestions. Yeah, she's not a rule follower.
And that's what we loved about her.
She had weird requests that they were like, okay, this is going to be too much. Also, why do you need your phone the whole time?
She wants to stop the men.
I know, but like, you're not allowed to do that.
No, she wants to break. She's a rule.
Yeah, she wants to break all the walls.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, oh,
and they're like,
come
okay,
on, girl.
honey, this isn't Love Is Blind. We have a streamlined show.
Mhm.
We follow a formula,
Mhm.
and if you ain't gonna follow the formula, we can get anybody else.
I know.
So then
they choose Jen
because they let it out. They let it with like Daisy and
yeah, that's weird.
You're like, and then they brought Charity out.
Hopes up of
and then
like
Charity out to announce the Bachelorette, and then people were still confused at this point. I even had friends texting me that had texted me going to bed like after this part. They were like, Daisy's Bachelorette. I turned it off. Like, and then like I was like, no, she's actually not. Like you have to keep watching.
Yeah.
So anyways, then it's Jen. And listen, I like Jen.
I think Jen is so fun.
I think she's so fun.
I'm excited.
I wish they gave her more footage of her during the show so that we knew her a little bit better.
I agree.
I think she'll be a great Bachelorette.
I think so.
And I think the Asian representation is awesome. My confusion with that is like we really got to know Rachel, who's also Asian.
Yes.
She's Filipino, so not Asian American. Like I don't know what the technical terms would be,
Asian.
but like I almost wish they would have picked her because I felt more connected to her.
I know, same.
And you know, we've never had a Filipino Asian lead either. So I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. The build up to it was like so like,
well, and it sucks because
sucks for Jen.
It sucks for Jen, and I just like kind of hate that ABC is kind of getting like this pat on the back that they now have an Asian lead when I feel like that wasn't their first choice.
I think
you know what I mean?
They're trying to be so politically correct that it's actually looking inauthentic.
Inauthentic, exactly. And that's where I was just like, with like you said, with Rachel, I'm like, Rachel could have been an obvious choice.
She was top 3.
Everyone loved her.
She was a fan favorite.
And she had like this insane heartbreak.
Yeah.
That she was just like constantly fighting this battle with like, can I get there? Because like, I'm afraid of being hurt again. And
she had a story that we knew and we could get behind.
Oh my gosh. And her family, like I felt like really connected with that. And so it's just like interesting to me because I'm like, okay, you didn't choose. Oh, your top picks said no, or you couldn't get
and that's clear to us.
It's
like
clear.
We're not dumb.
No, and I think there's actual proof that like Maria was supposed to be the Bachelorette and they just could not come to whatever understanding it was in the end.
And then Daisy turned
And
it
then
down.
Daisy turned it down. And then you're going to choose Jen. I mean, it just like didn't really, it just like,
Yeah.
I hate that she didn't get her full moment of like, no, we want you. Like, we're going after you. We're going after you.
Yeah. Now, I do think we didn't know Hannah Brown before. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
We didn't know Hannah Brown before, and hers ended up being one of the best Bachelorette seasons of all time.
That's actually a really good
So
point.
I think that Jen can surprise
Hannah
us.
Brown energy.
Yeah, and I think that Jen can surprise us. I think she's funny. I think she's feisty. She's obviously beautiful. I think it's going to be a good season. I just think they really did her a disservice and the audience a disservice by the way they handled it.
Yeah, me too. I hope people watch.
I mean, obviously we're going to watch.
We're going to watch.
And yeah, overall, it just was a great, entertaining finale.
Guys, it was such a good show.
It was such a good show.
Like, if you don't watch it, why are you listening right now?
Why are you
also go watch it? This is not an ad, but
I wish we were sponsored by ABC.
That would be wild.
Should I reach out to their people?
Yes.
Little Rob Mills email.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jesse Palmer.
Yeah.
Okay. Unfortunately, Melody has a big girl job and has to go work.
I know.
And also, my child is still walking around his room. So say a prayer. Just like as you're listening to this, we're in a transition phase, transitioning to the toddler bed. If you could just pray, I'm like dead serious. If you could just pray that this transition phase is shorter than I am imagining it will be, because this has been a horrible week for mom. Love you guys. Love you, Melody.
Love you. Thanks for having me.
Obviously.
I love it.
First of the month. First of the month.
We're going to get it. We're going to create
We'll come up
something.
with a jingle. All right, listeners, we love you, and we will talk to you next week.
Bye.